I don't know if Kryon has spoke at all about immunizations, but I'm curious about anything that Kryon may have said regarding immunizations and autism.
Don't link them in the question, although many want to link them. Only thing Kryon has said is this, is that immunization itself is not a bad thing. When we, as a senior, I'll tell you, there was, I forgot how many were in that for years and years we gave for how many diseases. It was maybe 7 or 8, maybe 11 or something. And it was the immunization cocktail, and we all took it as kids. And there were no repercussions or anything else until they started adding. Now they're up to something like 27, 28, whatever, and suddenly we're starting to see, or think we see, some links, and one of them might be autism. And so what Kryon said is, stick with the originals. He said, and that is almost like saying they were okay, but what you don't know is they react to each other. And this is not what the research is about. I don't know how much research has been. How many can you immunize for and vaccinate for in a row without them starting to somehow maybe react to each other in a way that nobody knows about and will find out about in 7 or 8 years, and it'll be on the news. Oh, by the way, these people got this or whatever because we put too many in the immunization. So Kryon has been clear that the first ones were fine, and there were no reactions that we know about. But suddenly, as soon as they started putting all these in, then we had troubles. Now the link between that and autism, it looks like it might be connected. Kryon has not talked about it, but autism in general, Kryon has spoken about that and he said there's going to be more of them, because they are precursors of human beings that are less linear. Now that's interesting to me. And if you speak to those who work with autistic children especially, the linearity, the ones who don't want to be touched or speak or not look at you or whatever, they're missing some of that linear things that speech is linear. And we're learning to work with this because Kryon says this is us in future generations to some degree. We're going to lose more and more linearity, and instead we're going to embrace more and more energy communication. Now, that's all I can tell you at this point in time. And God bless the people who are working with the autistic kids, because there's a lot to do there. But there are so many things. I just talked to one gentleman. Was it Todd? Was that you I was talking to? Was it you? Okay. About this very thing. And is it your sister or? Okay, is your daughter that's working with the autistic one? Yeah. And he was saying that she's one of those who does a very, very good job with them, which tells you, to me, and we know this, is that there is a consciousness that works better with autistics than other consciousnesses. And so what does that tell you? That they are relating to certain kinds of things that your consciousness, if you're tuned to that, then you can communicate. They all respond to music as a communication tool. Artwork as a communication tool. And the other thing is animals. And so that starts to make you look around. So how functional they are depends, what that level of functionality, it's different because it's very complicated. But that also always intrigued me, is how that, and then the other one, can I just tell you, the experiments that were done years and years ago between one autistic child and a dolphin that was made into a special that I don't know you can get anymore because it was so many years ago. And the reason I saw it is because it started, I believe, with a dolphin at SeaWorld where I live in San Diego. And it was about an autistic child and a dolphin's connection, because somehow they discovered that the child was hooked in some way to the dolphin. And so they started saying, well, how hooked could it be? And so they had tests, and they threw things into the pool for the dolphin to fetch, whether it was a circle or a square or little plastic pieces. And then they would ask the child who was in another room to select among all of those objects which one the dolphin chose. And the rate that she got right was something like 80 or 90%. It was astonishing. There was a connection between them. Now, Jeff, you're going to like this one. What happened was the dolphin got moved to SeaWorld in Florida. So they stopped. She couldn't do it anymore. But somebody had the idea, would it still work long distance? And it did. So she's in San Diego, dolphin's in Florida. Dolphin goes and gets the symbol, which is square or whatever, and she's still picking, and it's still 80%. So that tells you now there's long distance communication, whether it's an entanglement or whatever that is, it's in the field. It's not what they expected. That's autism. It's not, there's a lot more there than we know. It's just scratching the surface. So although it's difficult in a linear world, I think there's a tremendous expansion there, almost a savant if we let it and we study it. And I hope we understand more about it so that they're more comfortable.